Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me on this Friday afternoon where we'll be doing a sunset walk here on the island of Aruba. My name is Jairo and I make travel videos, walk videos, Aruba videos, among other things. And today I'm going to walk along the Parden Bay, the Horse Bay, and we'll show you some points of interest and just the beautiful sunset that you can experience here at the Parden Bay. I am right now here at the Aruba Tourism Plaza, which has icons of Aruba's tourism. So they have the names with a short history of why this plaza was made, why the tourism of Aruba has grown the way it has over the last couple of years, decades rather. And yeah, they decided to dedicate a plaza a couple of years ago to these wonderful folks. Over here you have different, oh, by the way, we are, I forgot totally to show you, we are, let me go back, sorry about this. And we are situated, or this is situated right in front of the Talk of the Town Hotel and Beach Club. So this is a small, fairly old hotel, old in the sense that it's been here like almost like forever, many decades. And it's certainly an option if you want to stay a little bit close to the airport, or if you are doing like a short stay, 1 or 2 nights, that could be like a pretty good option actually. It's certainly an area where you will have choices of food, bar, and in say in normal times even dancing. And there's also like a beach that we are walking to right now. I have done videos on the Parden Bay before, like I think more than a few actually. And right now this area looks really nice, and each and every afternoon you can find like people here doing exercises and such. Right now we are walking towards the the Surfside Beach Bar and Restaurant. And let me walk quickly here through the music. We can see some folks doing some aerobics and such, and that's something that this area is well known for along the airport, the runway, the airport's runway, and up to the Oranjestad, so the, what do you call it, the capital of Aruba. Now, this beach is also fairly popular among the locals, certainly, that a lot of people come here to swim and to do other activities, among other like water sports and such. Now here at this area you can also find some of these things that were put, I don't know the name of them exactly, exercise machines you could say, but they're not really machines, but you can like, you know, do certain types of movements and exercises with them. Today is a little bit quiet compared to sometimes some of the other, like the weekdays, but certainly still a very nice looking day. Now over here is the Surfside Beach Bar. It's like a Dutch place, and it has certainly the flags of one of my favorite beers is the Amstel Bright, which is really nice. And there used to be like a kind of a water park there. It has been removed for the last couple of weeks. I don't know what's the deal with that, so I don't know if it's closed down or if it's maybe in for like renovations and stuff. I'm not sure about that. Oh, there's a lot of people here. There are a lot of people here. And so yeah, here you'll find also many of the boats that come to Aruba and decide to stay in this area for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, maybe even months. And so I can already hear some more music over there, but we are approaching the first restaurant here in this area, which is the Barefoot Restaurant. And as the name suggests, it is recommended to dine with your bare feet. You see many of the ones at the restaurant certainly with their bare feet in the sand. And it has been a little bit expanded to be a little bit closer to, say, the beach area, so the water actually. And they have spread out the tables quite a bit, so to keep in with the how do you call it? With the COVID protocols. Tired of saying that. And next is here is the Reflections Beach Bar and Restaurant, which is open. I do believe it's open from the morning. So if you want to come here in the morning, that is also possible. A lot of kids here enjoying the afternoon today. Lots of kids. And certainly this beach bar is pretty cool and pretty popular as well. Now, didn't expect to get such loud music, but I was wrong again. I'm gonna take a brief, I do believe a brief turn to my right here for a moment. Cute little dog, as they would say. So I don't know if I can get in. Let me see. Is it worth going over there? Let's try it. Let's try it. I'm gonna try to get on this side and show you briefly something. So at the Reflections Beach Bar, it used to be called different names, by the way, for those who are familiar with the island for many years. And used to be called, I think last it was called like Havana Beach Club. It used to be called Surfside and many other names. And yeah, this is basically what I've wanted to show you guys. There is a park, it's called the Neptali Henriques Park, which is like a playground for the kids. And I do believe that there's no entrance fee. So if you have kids and you're staying in this area, or you just want to explore different type of beaches here in Aruba, and they want to skip the beach for a few minutes and just play, they can certainly come here and play. I do believe that right now it's open from around 4 p.m. to sunset, more or less. This is an airplane passing by, pretty cool with the sunset. And so yeah, that's a small deviation, but I think the locals know about this place, or at least most of them should know about it. But as a visitor, you might not notice this place, or you might never ever have heard of it if you have been coming to Aruba for many years. Now this place has been in existence. It's a foundation, and it has been in existence for quite a few decades. And as a child, I definitely played here and had a lot of, attended a lot of parties, kids parties here. And even a couple of years ago, I was here for like a photo shoot. Just for the sake of it, I'm gonna pass by these sailboats. And if you are a new subscriber, I want to welcome you to my channel. I've had a lot of new subscribers lately and hope you are liking my content. I love reading all of your comments and certainly try to keep them into account for the next couple of videos. And I always try to please you guys, but again, I can kind of only do so much. So I'm always trying to make as many videos as I can every week, and certainly try to keep up with 2 uploads. And before we continue our walk down this beach, just want to take a brief look back. And I don't know if you can appreciate it on camera, in the video, but the water is really clear and I can actually see some tropical fish swimming there. Some black with purple, I think. And so the water is really clear. Now there are areas over here that the beach actually where you see the kids is actually pretty good to get in. It's very nice, but the area like back there and even here, it's got some rocks when you go in. So if that is a concern or a no-no for you, then just something to keep in mind. But certainly you can come here and it's usually fairly quiet. Certainly on weekdays it's fairly quiet, but on weekends the locals do come here and have a family day in this area. It's a very, very popular area actually, yet not so much with the tourists. On our right side, so like over here, we have the, what's it called again? The Surfside Marina, I think it's called. So over here you can rent the rooms. I do believe it's also available for rent for like parties and weddings possibly. I'm gonna just try to get like a general shot. There's no swimming pool that I'm aware of, but not sure you would need it with such a nice beach right here. And of course this one is the Pintxos. Let me see if I can go a little bit on the pier, why not? So this is the Pintxos Bar and Grill, and a very good restaurant. And I did not know, but it's owned by or at least partially owned by a friend of mine. And yeah, I can see some school fish school. And it's very, very popular, this restaurant, also with a sunset. If you have been following me for a couple of months, you may have seen a top 5 sunset spots here on Aruba that I made a couple of months ago. If you haven't seen it, I'll try to put the link in the description of this one so you can go check it out. That day I briefly touched or went over this area, but today I wanted to do yet another video and a more like in-depth. Let me pass by these folks here. So yeah, I do believe we already passed it. So like the road is over here, and so where we came, and back there somewhere is the Aruba Tourism Authority offices, in case you would like need it for anything. That's where you would need to be, close to the Talk of the Town hotel. I used to call them I just forget. I don't know why. I always call them hotel instead of resorts. To me, they're all hotels. So that's something I just have a bad habit of doing. So it's like film me. So let me see if we can get a shot like of the Pintxos Bar and Grill. Let's pass by these folks for a bit. So many kids today late at the beach, which is nice to see. And it's certainly a very nice beach for them, because it's, as you can see, it's very quiet. It's almost no waves. Like the waves you see right now are no big deal at all. So if you have like kids from like maybe a year or maybe a couple of months, and they are still, like not fully into getting into the water, because some kids do get scared of it, this is one of those areas that you can come and be sure that it would be a whole lot better for them. Now this area is, so this whole area is so this area is called the Paardenbaai. Paardenbaai is a Dutch word, and it means, as I previously mentioned in the beginning, it's if I would translate it, it would be horse bay. And horse bay, why horse bay? Let's talk briefly about the history of this beach. See if we can go over this side. I don't know how the waters are, if I can continue this side, but oh wow, I want to do this. So those are also services that are offered nowadays, and I think it's pretty cool. It is awesome. I think of doing that one of these days. Very relaxing. So they come and prepare everything for you, and you just enjoy it. You don't have to bring anything to the beach and everything. So where was I with the story of Horse Bay? So in the 1500s, Aruba was like colonized by Spain, and I think it went up to the 1600s, so for like 100 years, or maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, probably 100. They were here and they declared Aruba like the Islas Inútiles, which is like the, what would it be, like the useless islands, or that we have no real anything of value. But then we were used, especially in the case of Aruba, they started using Aruba as a place where they would have like the horses here, and so they can ship them to, what I know is through the books I've heard, like they shipped many of them to Jamaica and other islands nearby. So Aruba was one of the good places to, what's the word? I'm thinking about what word that is exactly, but do you say cultivate? No. I can't think of the word right now, but anyway, to have like horses on the island. And according to the history, apparently it used to be like thousands of them, or at the very least like hundreds of them here on the island. And at some point, rather, and then the Dutch came around 1600, 1700, and they basically continued with it, but then changed the name to Pardambay. So before it was called Playa Caballos, which is horse bay in Spanish. So it became Pardambay, and later, I think in 1824, I do believe, the city of Oranjestad, or what was renamed to Oranjestad. It was previously known as Playa, or Playa Caballos, and it was renamed to Oranjestad officially, and up to this day is known, as you know, to be Oranjestad, Orange City. So let me try to go up here somehow. Otherwise we cannot continue this tour. Let's go up this time. So as you can see, there is a walkway here. And as I talked about it already, you see people doing exercises. And also beautiful new condominiums here in the city. They are up for sale if you are interested. So getting back briefly to the story again, since it was called Playa Caballos, even to this day, when you are living in Oranjestad, or you were, say, born, or you're like someone that's originally from Oranjestad, they would refer you are from Playa. And playa in Spanish can also mean the beach. But for us, it's more like the city or the capital, Oranjestad. So it's kind of confusing when we are talking with someone who speaks Spanish and you would tell them, well, I'm going to Playa. They would think like, oh, you're going to the beach today. And you're like, no, I'm going to the city. And it's kind of funny because there have been many confusions over the years because of that. There's someone swimming. I think he's been swimming faster than I've been walking. A lot of people use this for like sports. They use this area because the waters are so calm waters. It's great for kayak, for swimming and such things. So if you can imagine why also it's Paardenbaai. The horses, apparently the story goes that the horses were like, they came with them in the boats and they just pushed them or threw them off the boats, and these horses would swim and come to shore. So this whole area that you see is the reason why this is called Paardenbaai. And the cruise ships are over there. The Renaissance Resort is also over there. And it's certainly a large area, but fairly quiet for being in the city. I think it's pretty nice that we have this road over here with many of the old buildings, well, the new buildings, but some old houses that were changed into offices and such. And you have a beach right here. So you can come right here and say you work at an office over here. You have your lunch outside and go back to work in half an hour. Imagine that. So let's get down here and see if we can walk all the way through the other side. I don't think so. No, it doesn't seem like it, but we will walk briefly over here. Super clear water, even here at this time of day. You know, like it's, I don't know what time it is, but certainly still very clear. It does have, to be sincere, it does have on, like at certain parts, it does have some grass growing in the water, and so I think you can see it better from up here probably. Yeah, so where you see it dark, it's not deep, but it does have some grass growing, so if that's not to your liking, and I don't think anybody really likes that, that could be a thing, but nonetheless beautiful. Sorry about that quick turn, but I just briefly wanted to show you this building. I think these buildings were built in the last, I think less than 10 years. And both of them have been like, they've been like working on them for so many years. And they are like, I don't know if there are people actually living there. It seems like there might be, but maybe they are not there all the time. So these are the mangroves growing right here in the city. That's just about the only ones, I do believe, that you can find so close to the capital. I think it's a good thing that I decided to take this boardwalk, because I was thinking here for a moment to take the beach, but the water gets pretty close to the grass and there's not much sand, so I can walk over there. So I'm gonna pass in front of this Restaurant. And oh no, music. So it's yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful area. This restaurant, I've been, you know, it's really one of my favorites to dine at. And while it's not super fancy, they do have like a garden out here, down here rather, also. If it gets really full, it's pretty nice with the lights and such. And I hope nobody recognizes me, so I don't want to stop. No, I don't mean that. But, so good thing there's no music here. That's great. So yeah, they don't have super fancy food, but they have like a variety, and you can definitely like catch the, how do you call it, the local food here, like the funchi and fresh fish and such things. The kishiana that I posted on one of my social media. Which one was it? On TikTok for sure, and I believe on Instagram. So this used to be like a club, a small, like a small sailboat club, miniature sailboat. And but they, you know, a couple of months ago I did see some people doing it again. It's very popular in Aruba, but it last couple of years, I don't know, somehow not a lot of people doing it anymore. I don't know the reason exactly, but yeah, it's unfortunate. It's one of those cool things that they set it in the water and they pick it up back at where we started, like more at the Surfside Beach, like way over there. In this area I've been seeing many people fishing lately. So here on the inside, a lot of people fishing. So it's got to be good somehow. Now I'm zigzagging through this area, but I did want to briefly stop here for a moment and show you that I do believe that this is a monument that was put here for many of the local fishermen that have, let's just say, not ever return again. So they went to fish and never came back. I don't know if it has all of the names, but it's certainly, you know, like something that happens, dare I say, almost every year. We lose a couple of them, and over the last year, I do believe we lost 2 that actually, you know, like they sailed from here, or they went from here. And I remember that one. I don't remember the names right now, but I do remember that they had the boat like just like this one, and they went to fish and never came back. That was a pretty small fish. That's a fishing boat rather. And yeah, that's very sad. That's very sad for the families, and I can really not even think how sad that must feel for the families, and I wish them all the strength in the world if they happen to be watching this video. And I dedicate it certainly to those fishermen. Now, my idea or my intention initially was to stop my video there, so like stop my recording there, but There's some folks over there, so I'm gonna try to stay away from them a little bit and stop it over here. I don't know if this will like give justice as to how beautiful the sunset is tonight. Super, super beautiful. Now in this area, no swimming, no swimming, no swimming, certainly no swimming. No swimming for most of this area. You can swim on the inside. But however, some parts of this beach is very shallow, so it's not very deep at all, but you don't really know where, so it's like complicated. But I have seen people fish like quite a bit outside and they're still standing in the water, so it's kind of weird. But occasionally you'll have like a boat passing by, like the boats going to the Renaissance Island, and sometimes wave runners will pass by here pretty fast, or other boats. So yeah, I would like to thank you for watching this one. I hope it was to your liking, and I hope that you learn a little bit more of the history of Aruba regarding this beach, and also the restaurants and other places of interest in this area. Thank you for watching. See you next week, guys. Bye-bye. See you next week. Bye-bye.